If you were to pick any movie from the 2010s, it's either an instant classic or insanely uncomfortable. Luckily for you, I don't think anyone should have to go through that, so I went the classic route. Vampire Dog is a 2012 Canadian family film that I saw when it aired on Disney Channel that October. It's about a kid who's transitioning to this new school where he doesn't exactly fit in. Except instead of our main character Ace using magic to unleash pure pain on his enemies, or fighting against his school's financial decisions using catchy choruses and sick raps,
And renegade lemonade. People need a breather because they feeling that adrenaline. Yeah. Now hurry up and let us in. Yeah. Cause we coming to your house.
well, Ace doesn't do much, but he has a spooky dog. No, not that one. This. Now this is a vampire dog. So our vampire dog Fang lives in Transylvania with his owner, and we're first introduced to him stealing jello from this poor lady as he tries to rizz her up before leaving. Also, no, I didn't speed that up. He's just that quick. I'm sure when he's not eating jello from other people's houses, he's playing ball with the Cullens.
That's gotta be a home run, right?
Anyways, the scene is just there to let you know that he doesn't drink blood, he eats jello, and he's not about to eat his owner. And after Fang returns home, we're met with the most unsettling fourth wall break I've ever seen in a movie as Ace's grandpa asks us where we've been.
It's about time. Where have you been?
So this next part low-key made me sad because Fang's grandpa starts talking to Fang and he's like, I won't always be around to protect you and stuff like, you mean everything to me. And then he just dies? Yeah, so honestly pretty sad. Back in Lugosi County, Ace and his mom Susan are settling into their new home because Susan got a new job and Ace has to switch schools again, which he immediately lets you know he's not cool with.
You okay?
Being the new kid sucks.
Anyways, Ace's mom is going to be a teacher at the new school, except Ace is worried because he doesn't know how to play in front of anyone and she's going to be the new music teacher. She mentions that she was brought there by the superintendent because the school's about to shut down and unless the fine arts program improves, it's gone. As if Ace isn't stressed out enough, as he's bringing in his drums, he meets his love interest Skylar who almost dies. Anyways, it's Ace's first day of school and they're already late. But luckily, Skylar lets him in.
That's just great, right on the first day.
Can you see anyone in there?
Hi.
At this point, Skylar officially meets Ace and his mom. But don't worry, Ace plays it cool as a cucumber.
I live on your street.
Cool.
So, as mentioned, the music program isn't exactly programming, and they're pretty bad, which the principal doesn't neglect to let them know.
I hear real potential in this class.
You're probably the only one.
Finally gonna tell them how much they suck.
They get to talking with the principal, and he eventually finds out that Ace is a drummer, so he kind of peer pressures him to play in front of everyone.
Why don't you show us your stuff, kid?
I don't think that's necessary.
And Ace does pretty well, except he loses his balance again, hits his teacher in the balls, the class starts laughing while recording, and he gets hit with that epic fail, bro, from his classmate. So now it's lunch, and unfortunately for Ace, Skylar hangs out with the cool kids, and they go over to bully him, but luckily Ace couldn't be bothered enough to stop that bully for my Valentine he's probably listening to, and he responds accordingly.
There's the baby.
Mommy loves you, baby boy.
Of course, as you'd expect, the video of his epic fail gets uploaded to YouTube, and these two 20-year-olds point and laugh at him, which, yeah, is pretty weird. He's supposed to be 12. I mean, I feel for him, honestly, because throughout the movie, you'll start to notice, too, his mom doesn't even really support him that well.
Bright side is, you're a hit. Look, over 30,000 views. Next time, try not to get so nervous.
At this point, his mom Susan gets a letter in the mail, and she tells Ace that his grandpa Sylvester has unfortunately passed and that he'd be sending him a dog. Now, Ace isn't too happy about that though, because of course his social life is down the drain, but nonetheless, he's stuck with Fang.
I won't bother you if you won't bother me. Want to shake on it? Whatever.
You're not going to believe my latest development in anti-aging technology.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, so the movie just kind of cuts like that. Anyways, these are the two villains of the movie, and they're trying to develop some kind of skincare cream that's supposed to make you look young, and when they see the sighting of Fang on the news, they decide, vampires live forever, we need that dog. and so they decide to break into Ace's home. Now I'm gonna make a comment here. I feel like the movie could have done without these characters, and they're more just there. I don't know why they're there. I mean, we didn't really need someone to chase Fang necessarily. Like, they could have done that in another way. But, I mean, I guess, I think the main reason I don't like them, though, is because they're pretty cringe.
Are you sure?
Am I sure? Well, not 100% sure. But then again, I mean, whoever is 100%.
And I feel like the rest of the movie has this charm to it. It's like, it's funny, but it's not like trying to be funny. But these two characters are written specifically to be funny, and I think that's where it all comes down.
Let's get out of here.
So yeah, at this point, they didn't even break in. They more so, they took a look at the dog, for some reason got scared. I mean, I don't know what he's capable of. And then just decide to leave. Another thing too that really sucks is apparently when the school goes down, they want to replace it with the cosmetics factory. So yeah, I guess we'll be coming back to that later. And then the next day starts for Ace. So where Ace messes up is he doesn't know this is a vampire dog, and he decides that before leaving the school, he's gonna leave him outside in the sun where he could literally die. So back at school, things aren't going so great for Ace. Skylar does let him in, but unfortunately, this picture of him that looks like Yoshi falling ends up on his locker and on her music sheet, as well as her friends in class. On the other hand, the music program isn't going so great either, as no one is playing together or in time, and Principal Hickman comes back in to again tell them how bad they are and talk about how they're not going to win the Battle of the Bands, which is what would be saving the school.
I want you to break off into groups, form your own bands. The aim here is to impress the school board with our live playing and keep this school open.
Skylar kind of redeems herself and she asks Ace to join the band, but when her friends again talk bad about him, she doesn't do anything. So, I don't know, it's honestly kind of annoying me now. So now Ace gets home after that depressing day he had with the sad music they played over his sad face, and he starts drumming. He starts ripping on the drums, and Skylar passes by, and she even hears him, and instead of thinking, you know, I should make it up to him, he's right here, or I should even, I mean, I wouldn't recommend this, but she could even like send it to her friends and be like, hey, this dude's a good drummer. But like, again, I don't necessarily agree with that, because it should really be coming from, you know, we need to respect people, but nonetheless, she could be doing better. It's all good though, because some things are more important, like, you know, having a dog. So he runs outside to get Fang, sees all the tangles he made over the tree, and then realizes he's under the porch. And that's pretty confusing to me, because if the leash was that long, why didn't he just go under the porch in the first place? Next is probably the moment you were waiting for. He has an Alvin and the Chipmunks moment. Fang speaks, tells him he wants red jelly, and by this point, Ace has already fallen to the floor and he's out cold. So now Ace is taking Fang for a walk, and Fang pretty much drops the whole lore. He's a vampire dog, he can't be in the sun, he can only eat red jelly, he doesn't even drink water, and that if there is no jelly, he will die. Understandably, Ace is freaking out, but it's all good because Fang has a solution.
Try breathing in that bag.
Oh, dude, did you have to give me the poop bag?
After their talk, it's getting pretty late. Fang whips out his collapsible coffin, and as they sleep, these two come by. So next, Fang plays some Home Alone. He kind of zips around, farts next to this guy, and then he pees all over their equipment, which they were using to track him down. And as you and I both know, liquid and tech don't mix, and so they get burned to a crisp.
Wow!
Back to Ace, he's just dreaming about rizzing up Skylar with whatever this is.
Kid. Hey, kid. Kid!
As Fang wakes him up and tells him that he needs to smuggle him into school. Of course, Ace is like, no, that's crazy, you know, that's never gonna work. And for some reason, he agrees with Fang that all he has to do is change his clothes. So they get him dressed up looking like Fall Out Boy, and he enters school with Fang. I don't know if you saw that, but why is Fang's leg shaking so much? I mean, bro's fiending for some jelly. So Ace is here pretty early with Fang because he doesn't want to be seen, of course. And unfortunately, these two girls are there, and they immediately get on him for like, why do you have a dog? But then they also quickly forget about it when he's like, you know, so what are you doing with Battle of the Bands? And you know, they're there for Battle of the Bands rehearsal.
So you're trying to save the school? You bet. That's nice of you guys.
Like what? I mean, we saw it earlier. It's literally a requirement. She asked the class to form groups.
I want you to break off into groups.
Here we get a quick montage of Principal Hickman being lazy before we realize why Fang wanted to be here. So earlier, you know how I mentioned that if the school shut down, they wanted to build the cosmetics factory there?
In its place, I will build a facility dedicated to preserving youth and beauty.
Yeah, so apparently she has a deal already like going with Principal Hickman, like they've already talked about it. So she heads in, asks him about it. He says he's not sure. She hands him a wad of cash and then he's chilling.
So you've accepted my proposal?
I haven't made a decision yet. Well, my mind's made up, and I fully support your proposal.
So this is important to mention. She's offering Hickman 4 times his salary, so he's pretty much the enemy now, and she's worried about Battle of the Band. So he's like, nah, don't worry, like I got it covered. I have some tricks on my sleeve. So that kind of sucks. Okay, so moving on from that, this part bothered me. So they're in science class and they have to form groups. And you would think Skylar would be like, hey, Ace, I'm sorry, you know, like maybe partner up with him. No, she turns around and she looks at her friends first, realizes they're extremely rude and that they're like, nah, like we're already partnered up, like too bad. And then she just sits there. It's only her and Ace. And instead of being like, oh, hey, Ace, want to be partners? She just sits there until the teacher tells them to be partners. And then like, again, no sorry, just kind of continues and is like, hey, I heard you were late today or something. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I heard you were early today.
Oh, yeah, I had some stuff to do.
And then Skylar kind of turns into like a vampire here. Also, she like insanely fast finishes the assignment.
Step 1. Whoa, that was fast.
Which is like nice for Ace because like it's a win for once, you know? And then she's just like,
Don't tell anyone, okay? My friends don't like brainiacs. I heard you playing. You're really good.
She's really good.
Stock punch?
No.
I'm kidding. But please don't tell anyone.
Why not?
I was wrong. It does get better.
Paradiddles. They're a basic technique of drumming.
What a diddles?
So Ace and Skylar are hanging out. However, Skylar's friend comes and spills coffee on Ace, which isn't so cool. And she tells Skylar, like, hey, I was trying to save you. Skylar, of course, is like, you know, like trying to say I care about him. That's messed up. And then what happens next is, if you remember Fang, he needs his jelly.
It's jelly time.
He goes Twilight speed around the cafeteria, eats all the jelly. He does this to this kid. He mind controls people now. So that's kind of insane. But yeah, and then Fang's out in the hall. So of course Ace puts him back in the locker. And we get this clip of Principal Hickman and that one drummer dude, the blonde dude. And that's his uncle. So he's actually supposed to be sabotaging the music program.
How's rehearsals? Not too good, right?
No.
Good. Keep it cool on the flip side, Clyde.
Ace isn't feeling too good. He's heading home from school. Skylar's running, she's walking at him and like,
Ace,
wait up, wait, Ace. And like, yeah, like bro's just walking. So anyway, she ends up hearing Fang and then, well, now he's got to show her Fang. I say show her, but he really stays quiet and she just throws the dog on the ground.
What are you carrying in there? Let me see. What was that?
Don't do it, kid. Oh, that's what it means.
So now Skylar knows that Fang can talk. She also swabbed his mouth to get some like saliva for some testing, and she got him a sweatshirt.
I look fantastic.
So, you know, he doesn't disintegrate in the sun. You can wear my sweatshirt. We'll be together till the end. Hey, and don't get me wrong, it's catchy, but speaking of simple drum beats, this dude can't play at all.
It just sounds off.
No, I don't. I sound great. Why don't you get out of here, Space Ace?
Bro's been cheating the whole time. So back with like the two villains or whatever, they pretty much stole all the Jello supply at the store and from the school, and they set it up near the school so that way they could lure Fang in.
Come and get it. Come and get it. Come and get it.
Luckily though, the janitor stepped in, took Fang, and the only bad part is now he's in the pound.
That's my dog.
No, that's my dog.
Who are you?
None of your business. Now give me my dog.
He's going to the pound.
So the thing Skylar was working on to help Fang walk in the sun, which is fire. She finally, after an upsetting interaction with Ace where he asked her out and she rejected him because of her friends, she finally this time walked away from them.
Skylar, would you like to go out with me sometime?
I don't think so, Ace.
You take one more step. You turn that corner. You're in.
So now they have to go get Fang, which they did, and then they headed to the school to try and save the mom's career.
Well, well, well. I'm not gonna hurt you. Just give me the dog.
Your music program is a fraud.
And then this guy got exposed for cheating, tried to blame it on the band.
You told me to cheat. That's not true and you know it.
Ace played with the band, and then we kind of hit the happy ending with the troublemakers going to jail.
He's a vampire. I need his DNA.
Sure, lady. We had a complaint of a couple weirdos chasing some kids.
And then this dude gets expelled, and Hickman, of course, gets fired because he let the criminals in the first place. Towards the end, we got a nice, they saved the school. Fine art stuff is going good.
I ruled that Lugosi be declared a charter school for music education.
For some reason, Fang is allowed indoors, which is like dope. Which is dope, because I feel like that's like a dream, So like, I don't know, I feel like everyone's thought about that. Like, if you have a dog, like, hey, what if I just took bro my backpack and like he just like chilled in the class? Overall, did it live up to how I remembered it? Yeah, 100%. And yeah, if you don't feel cool ever, just like dress up like Fall Out Boy. This doesn't fit.
Hey, that's you and your dad, huh, kid? You know, you're a lot like he was at your age. I'm really sorry you got sick, Ace.